What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Blade Bias. Today we're going to go over, I guess not really the news of the week, just a little story that I wanted to cover. There hasn't really been much happening this week, which I knew would happen, I knew would happen eventually with the Blade Bias weekly news thing. I just didn't expect it to be so quick, you know? Basically, the Medusa, Fellowship Blades Medusa, you might have seen that Ty has one in his possession. Very jealous of that thing, I cannot lie. Grant is making a new blade for it, and it happens to be a kukri blade. Now, if you don't know what a kukri blade is, if you've ever seen a Black Balisong Reaper, which was actually the thumbnail that I used for a video a few weeks back, it has that sort of like kind of curve out, sort of like the Nemesis does, but it's much more pronounced. It's kind of like a curve this way, or curve a specific direction to the knife. And it is probably one of my favorite blade styles, besides something like a classic Bowie. But if you're not going to allow me to say that a Bowie is my favorite blade style, because everyone's like, oh, they're boring, which, I mean, fair enough, then the kukri is definitely my favorite blade style in the knife hobby. I think it looks so good. So to see a beautiful Medusa with a beautiful blade like that. I mean, the Medusa already has like a crazy blade on it that I really, really like. The craftsmanship that's on display with the Medusa blade is just awesome. But now to see a kukri blade with hopefully that same level of polish and just looks and craftsmanship is going to be super, super sick. So I'm very excited to see that thing come out. Maybe buy one when I eventually build up my Balisong funds again. You might notice I haven't bought anything in a while. Yeah, I'm fresh out of Balisong money for a little bit here, but when I eventually do make that back, I'm gonna go hard on buying a bunch of stuff, like maybe a Tsunami. No, the Tsunami really, really grabbed me when I tried it, but a Medusa is definitely one of the things that's on that list. And much like last week, a good Balisong only gets better. I figured since there's not really much else that I'm aware of to talk about, the Bally News section on the Discord, by the way, advertising the Discord, a lot of people have been joining since I made that video. I don't know if they're related, but in case you didn't know, in the description is a bunch of different links to me and Ty's different various socials and Discord servers and Instagrams, other YouTube channels, etc. Go check those out. Always linked down in the description. Yeah, thanks, boys. But I made that channel in the Discord, so if you want to submit your own news that you want me to talk about, you can. The only thing I've seen submitted in there so far was some knife that Atropos made, which Atropos making a knife isn't really news because it happens every other week, it feels like. But then the conversation derailed into, like, Atropos said it was like some Canadian blade style, and then all the Canadians in chat started talking about how, like, they had never seen it in their lives. So, not too much news to really report on this week. Besides maybe, like, the BB Barfly Barracuda finally got a hole pattern. BB Barfly made a sort of cheaper version of, or they wanted to make a cheaper, more high performance trainer that's more in line with sort of the specs and the dimensions of other trainers and the balance points and all that. And they seem to have done that with the Barracuda, but for a while it lacked a hole pattern. And now it finally has one. I think they're finally for sale. You can get them for like 120 base, 140 with the hole pattern. Could be wrong on that. Go check BB Barfly's website. And then the only other thing that you can really report on is just old news. The problem with doing these news things once a week, specifically on Sunday, is you're pretty late to a lot of stuff. So a lot of the sales that were announced this week and that went on this week that would have been good to cover for you guys are over at this point. So sorry about that, but can't really change. I record all these videos on the weekend because that's the only time I have to do it, and then I release them throughout the week. If I didn't do it that way, Blade Bias would not be able to go on as it currently does, at least my side of things. So hopefully that's all right for you guys. But yeah, I think that about covers it. Kind of not much going on this week in the community. There is a lot of stuff going on, like channel-wise, specifically for me with the YouTube copyright stuff. If you follow me on Instagram, or not copyright stuff, the takedown that I got. But whatever, not that big of a deal. Life goes on. It is what it is, as they say. There was something else I wanted to bring up, but it escapes me now. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Sorry for the shorter video today, but I think that's pretty much going to do it. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.